This time again, we are back. This time we are back to do live coding with Prakhar. Prakhar is a student from Neo grad now. He's got a job, student.
Yep.
And
Okay.
Prakhar will wait for people to join in so that, folks don't miss out. So by the time folks join in, let me also put this on Discord. And we'll do hello, hi. Folks are already coming in. Very nice. Share, copy, Discord. We are live now and everyone is join. No problem. We are live. We are waiting for folks to join in. Mark 14. Let's see how many folks are here. Hello, Prakhar. Hello, everyone. 46, 48. Nice. We'll get started in like 2 more minutes. Congratulations, Prakhar Bhaiya. Why is Samyak saying congratulations to you, Prakhar?
Not sure, but thank you. I think probably for the job.
Oh, मुझे लगा शादी वादी final हो गई क्या?
इतनी जल्दी नहीं, अभी time है.
Okay, so congratulations on the job, Prakhar. That's a great news. And you want to talk about where you are joining, what you are doing, all of it?
Yeah, sure. So I'm joining a US-based startup named Fountain, and the people there are amazing. The CEO himself is like really so funny, and even the tech stack that I got is totally what I always wanted. So I always wanted to work in a place where designing is also there and development is also there, and that's what they provided me there. They were like, okay, you can do UI UX designing. We'll teach you to do it the right way. Because what I do right now is just create some mockups on Figma and stuff, and that's all. But they told me that they'll teach me the right way, and development is there. So React is there. Even React Native, I get to work on React Native too. So
wow.
The technology is amazing there. And the people, and it's a startup. I always wanted to go to a startup. So that's also one thing.
And before anybody else asks, what about the money? Are you happy with the money is what I want to ask.
Yeah, actually I am. Yep. So actually that was somewhat around what I was expecting. Okay. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to reveal it. Maybe
you can, not an issue. You can say.
Okay. Yeah, so they are paying me 12 LPA in hand. And the thing is that the best thing about it is that their CTC and in hand is kind of the same only. Not much difference. Like per month, there's such 2,000 rupees difference, and that's it.
Oh,
so, yep, that's the best thing about it. So it's pretty cool.
What are your plans for all the money you are getting now?
Actually, this part I never thought about. I was like, I need to get a job. And I was focused on this so much that now I was sitting and thinking, I was like, what will I do with this much money? I literally have nothing to do. I wanted to buy a MacBook, but due to some issues, yeah, they are giving. Plus, my father got it for me for 2-3 months back only, because I was having some issues with my previous laptop. So that's one thing that is taken care of. They are also giving it. So right now, I really don't have much of any things to look forward to. But I'm just like, okay, taking it.
Tinder Gold.
Sorry.
Tinder Gold is a suggestion.
Yeah, no, won't need that.
Won't need that. That's the confidence. Awesome. Very nice. Very nice. Happy for you, man. A lot of people are saying happy for you, bro. Rohan saying congratulations. Status Top is saying invest. I agree to what Status Top is saying. Do invest, but do also invest in your happiness, in your parents' happiness as well. Right.
So that is planned. Like I have planned once I get the salary at the end of the month, I'll take my parents to Starbucks जो just अभी open हुआ है जयपुर में, so I'm going to take
Nice.
everyone to Starbucks. I'm like everything's on me, and uh,
Your mom will be like, ये 500 रुपए का कॉफी है,
I
इससे
know,
तो मैं घर पे बना देती.
but I'm like bill नहीं दिखाना. I won't be showing them the bill. That's my thing. Bill नहीं
Awesome.
बताना, for 50 coffee बता के I'll get them.
Huh. That's
That's the
nice.
thing.
That's nice. But are they coffee lovers?
Yeah, they are. They would prefer it.
Okay.
Plus,
Wow.
yeah, that's the thing. Like जगह जगह जहाँ पे भी घूमना and all, that would be by me. And
Awesome.
ये सब, and it's work from home only, so सब कुछ तो savings ही है. क्या ही करूँ इतने का?
पापा के घर में रहना है, मम्मी के हाथ का खाना है. What will you do with the money?
Exactly.
Seriously, this is great. This is great. Yeah, I would suggest take them to like a. Do you have Taj होगा ना जयपुर में? Like, take them to some place really nice,
Right.
and take a lot of photos. And when your kids will come someday, one day, then your mom will show them कि देखो अब शायद पहला job पे लेकर गए थे प्रखर के, यहाँ गए थे.
Yeah. Yep.
Barbecue nation for a family is good. Yeah, I would suggest somewhere very fancy though. Like Starbucks is great. Maybe Taj or something nice. कि भाई चलो वहाँ चलते हैं. But celebrate the
Right.
moment. That's a great plan. Invest in creating memories. Money
Yeah,
investment
that's-
is secondary. Memory investment is primary. Awesome, man. Awesome.
That's true. That's true. Yep.
Arpita is saying my mom will take me straight out of Starbucks. Yeah. My mom also, I took her to Starbucks. She's like, क्या बाबू तुम लोग को क्या अच्छा लगता है इसमें, ये कितना, how costly is this, and this coffee is also not great. Okay. Rahul is saying I'm from Rajasthan too. We have a lot of people now, so we can get started. This was nice talking to you, Prakhar. Let's get coding. Let me give you share screen, and then let's get started.
Sure. So
Khushi is saying I am also from Jaipur. Khushi and Arpita का नाम तो याद हो गया मुझे. They come in every live and they are very chatty. Oh, Mac.
yeah, Mac, the same model as yours, I think. Mac
Oh,
Air M1.
wow. Air M1 is great, यार. उसका बैटरी कितना चलता है? It's good when you have money. Otherwise, it feels like it's too costly.
Right. वो guilt
So
feel
5
करता है.
लैपटॉप आ जाएंगे एक लैपटॉप में.
True.
चलो, go ahead.
All
Prakhar,
right.
Stage is all yours.
Awesome.
What are we coding today? Just
So-
before we get started, people who are watching this even now or later, why are you not liking the video? We have 166 people watching and only 75 likes. Why this collaborative? Please like, and Prakhar, over to you again.
All right. Okay, guys. So today we'll be coding Mark 14. That is basically it is something like this. I'll just show you. So yeah. So this is a like basic mock-up of the application. You have to enter the initial price, the number of stocks, and the current price of the stocks. And when you click on tell me, it will show whatever, like if you have some profit or loss, or you don't have anything, so it will show a relevant message. I'll just show it to you. So if this is 100 and let's keep it 10, and let's, for the simplicity, keep it 2000. So if I do tell me, then as you can see, it shows your profit is 19,000 and the percentage is also shown. So that is the idea of what we are going to do today. If I change the price, the final price, and then I do it, then it shows with a red color that loss 800 and 80% is the percentage. So it will show in absolute terms and in percentage also. And final case, if we do like the stock price is the same, so it just shows no pain no gain and no gain no pain. That's it. So that's the
That's good. No pain no gain, and no gain no pain. Very nice.
Right. So that's what we are going to do today. So, and yeah, so these are like the problem statements, and the tech stack we are going to use is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Not focusing too much on the CSS part, as it's not that important for levelZero, for levelOne, and that you can do it as a homework. All right. So let's start with it. So let's start breaking it into pieces. first of all, when we are creating an app, the first thing that comes into our mind is let's create the HTML substructure for it. So I've already prepared a structure, and this is the, and as you can see, this is the live that is enabled here. So this is it, and I've created all the files. I'll just show you quickly. So these are the files. This is app.js where all the JavaScript will go. This is styles.css, and I've just applied one styling to it for making all the text center. That's it. Literally, that's it. So, okay, let's start with it. So let's first change the title of the document, as we are doing Mark 14. Why not go ahead and change that? So there's stocks would be good enough. And here's this. Okay, let me just move this here. All right. Okay. Hey Tane, is this still visible if I minimize my the side bubble where all the faces are being shown?
Yeah, that I have to see on YouTube actually. I don't get to see that. Let me see for a second. Your Mark 14 stocks price P is where it's getting away. So we might need to move it a little bit down.
Also, actually, I have it down only. I guess it's Zoom that is. Like,
yeah,
I'm not sure. Yeah, I guess.
So I think YouTube basically when you stream from Zoom, I think that's the issue, that it just goes there.
Right,
It
okay.
should be okay. Yeah, stocks is fine. Mark 14 stocks.
All right. Okay. So, all right. Let's start with the with our application. So, let's have a main tag inside which we'll keep all our content. Yeah. Okay. So in our main tag, we'll have, so let's look at what we are, what is the exercise one. So exercise one says that we have to create 3 inputs, one for initial price, one for quantity, and one for current price. There's going to be one button, and there will be a div for displaying the output. Let's get coding. So first we have to create labels, and let's create label and the
you might wanna
for it. Yeah,
might wanna zoom a little bit. Like the font size is hard to read, and I'm reading on a big screen, so
all right. So just a
little bit more. Command plus.
Command plus. All right. Okay.
Yeah, this looks good.
This is good. This much.
Go one size bigger. No, it's easier for people to read. Yeah, this is better.
Okay. All right. So yeah. So first of all, we'll have a label, and let's call it initial price, and let's put an input here. In the input. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So in the input, let's have a placeholder that says enter. Let's keep it initial price only. Initial price here, and if I save it, then you can see we got it here. So we'll add the IDs later. Let's keep it simple like this only, and we can add a type which is going to be text. We'll look at this later too. So this is one box. Let's create more of it. So there's another label, and inside the label goes the quantity of the stocks. And again, there's going to be an input with the placeholder, enter the number of stocks you got or you bought. All right. And then let's add a break here because it's all coming in one straight line. So yeah, this would be better. And then again, label the current price of the stocks. So current price, again, input. Right. And let's remove this for now. Let's add the placeholder, and the placeholder would say enter the current price of the stocks. Yeah. All right. And another break here. Awesome. So we have got 3 inputs ready here, and let's get a div too. let's get a button first so that there's something to click on. The button, I'm saying tell me, and I am like really in a hurry, so I'm like 2 exclamation marks, just tell me what's happening. Yeah, so here's the button, and
Hey,
again
Prakhar,
yeah,
one thing is that we shouldn't be using break. Like break actually has a semantic meaning. So we should what we should do is just take the input and or the label, because you're making label and input together, right?
right,
So what we can do is take the input, put it inside label, and then you don't need the for, and then make the label as a display block, and then
got
those
it,
would become block. Yeah, because it would be a bad practice, and
right,
students would pick it up. We know we don't do this, and I'm sure you're making it easy for everyone. But then easy में खराब सीख जाएंगे लोग, तो it will be difficult.
makes sense. Yep.
Sorry for all the trouble, man.
No. Actually, that's one thing I was also concerned about. Like, what's the good thing to do here?
Yeah.
So normally I
That's
would
why we
style
pair
this with
program.
CSS, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Awesome. So let me just refactor it a little bit. Keeping it here and then again removing it and keeping it here. So we have got 3 labels. Let's go and add another piece of styling here. So selecting the tag directly, that is label, and displaying it as block is working. Awesome. Let's add, if we are here, then let's add just a little bit of bottom padding, and that looks good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just beautify this file once so that it gets arranged.
So actually,
it is working already.
Yeah, it's actually working already.
Cool. Makes sense.
Yeah,
looks good.
Okay. All right. So we have this button, and let's create a div here. Keeping the div empty right now because we'll put the output here. So just keeping it empty. All right. So our exercise 1 is done, where we have created all these things. Let's go there and see what's okay. So as you can see, exercise 1 is done. Now we move on to exercise 2, where we add ID to the elements so that we can, later use them into our JS file. All right, so let's go and add some IDs. So we have got input first here. So here it will be ID, and let's call it initial price. Initial price, and let's also put this in the for here so that label knows what's it's pointing to. Then we have another thing here, so specifying ID. Yeah, okay, so the ID will be quantity. Let's call it stocks quantity. I am keeping these descriptive so that whenever a person reads it, he's able to understand it easily. So keeping the for here, and the stocks quantity is also there. So yeah, and moving on to the last one. So this is going to be the ID, and inside here are what do we want the ID to be? Current price. That should work. Current price, and Control C, and here we paste it out. Awesome. Let's give our button an ID too. So let's call it submit button, submit BTN, and let's give our div an ID, calling it output box, where our output will be shown. Output box. Awesome. So we have got this covered now, and here's a little bit of example that I've shown, and we have done. So now the next part is building the logic. So let's forget about this right now, and let's think about what the logic we have to build. So first of all, we have taken all the inputs. We have got input present in our HTML. What we have to do is we have to select all of them and get it into the JavaScript file. Then the second part would be adding the event listeners. Then we'll create the functions for it. I'm just going through it a little bit, and moving on, we'll display the output. And in the last, we'll just check the bugs. it's all right if you feel that it's a little bit overwhelming, but let's break it down and then you'll see how easy it is. So okay, so first of all, let's take outputs there. All right, so let's use a var and uh, calling it again initial price, and let's do document dot query selector. So we in the exercise 4 we select elements using query selector, right? So by the help of query selector we can select elements with which are having maybe an id tag or maybe an id or class, and by the help of that we can get those elements in our JavaScript file. So this is document.query selector, and inside that we use hash for IDs. And what was our ID? It was initial price. Awesome. So let's put it here. Cool. And let me turn on word wrap toggle. Yeah. So moving on to the next, we have got stocks quantity. So let's call it this, and document dot query selector and putting in hash. And what was the ID? ID was this stocks quantity. So control C and pasting it here. Okay, wait, yeah. All right. So the next step is to get the current price element. So the current price will be current price, and we do document dot query selector, and inside it we put another ID, which is the current price. So all right, so just reiterating the steps that I've performed till now. First of all, we created all the HTML. Inside the HTML, we put all the inputs that we are going to use, the button that we are going to use, and the output box in which we'll show the output. The second step is to breaking the problem into small parts. All right, so like let's say for example, I'll just put step 1 here, and what I've done in the step 1 is selecting all the elements. So I have selected all the elements using their ID. All right, so that's the step 1, and let's also get button and output box right now, and then we'll proceed on to the next step. So we have got a submit button and getting it here using ID that we specified before. So there's submit button. Yeah. And lastly, getting the output box. So let's call it output box, and again, document dot query selector, output and box. Yeah. Okay. So I also, one more thing to notice here is that you guys can see that I have kept the names that I'm going to use as same as the IDs. Why? Because it becomes really easy when we are going through the program later, like when you are going through your program later and you are seeing that what variable is being assigned to what value here. So you might need to keep, you might want to keep it same so that for the readability of the program. So that's one thing also covered. Okay, so we have gotten all the elements that we wanted, and now let's move on to the next exercise. So okay, let's forget about creating an event event handler right now. Let's forget about it, and let's think about the logic. So basically what we have to do is we have to calculate loss and profit. That's it. So we'll create a function for calculating loss and profit. We'll in that what we'll get is the profit percentage, loss percentage, and I've already written the formula here so that I don't forget. And later on I have to search it, so I've just written all the formulas here. I am bad at math, sorry, but yeah, I am. So that's one thing. And okay, so the challenge is to create a function, calculate profit and loss. So let's create it. So here's my function, calculate profit and loss. Okay, and what do you think that what input should it be taking? we'll need three things as inputs in this function. So one will be the initial price. I'm just calling it initial so that the words don't get mixed up. The second thing we'll be needing is quantity. So the quantity of the stocks, and the last will be the current. So that's the current. Okay. Moving on. So now what we need to do is that we need to check if loss is to be calculated or profit is to be calculated. Folks, how would we check is like if a person is having a loss or a profit? We check by actually comparing the initial price and the current price. All right. So if the current price is greater than the initial price, then it's profit. And if the current price is lesser than the initial price, then it is loss. Okay. So let me just do the if else statement here. And the first one will be if initial is greater than current, then we'll write some, I am just commenting it out here. So we'll just write some loss logic here. And there's also one condition where what might happen is that the initial price is actually equal to the current price. So in that case, let's use three different branches. There's one if, then there's else if, and there's the rest of the cases in the else statement. So the else if will contain if current is greater than initial, then it's definitely profit. So putting profit logic here. And lastly, there's else, and like the rest of the code, like the rest of the logic goes here, where basically it's about when the initial is actually equals to current. Okay, so also take notes that that's how you approach a program. Whenever you are solving something, just create a basic structure of it, break it into small parts. You know that what you have to calculate, that's okay. And then after that, you can see what things I'm going to use. I'm going to use if statements, and that's how you keep structuring program. And basically that's it. Okay, moving on. Now let's write the loss logic here. So for calculating loss, basically, what we'll do is we've got, let's take a new variable, which is loss. And it will have as initial is greater than current. So initial minus current. And also we'll divide this with the quantity so that we get the actual loss, and we'll get like a total loss, like a total loss on all the quantity. So that's what we are going to get here. So we have got var loss here. The second part is var loss percentage. As I already told you that we need to get these four things: profit percentage, loss percentage. So we did loss, and now we are getting loss percentage. So this is loss percentage, and sorry, I have to see the formula. So yeah, this is loss, and then this is the divided by initial, and this is going to be into 100 to making it into a percent. All right. And for now, let's just console log what the outputs is going to be. So I'm going to console out that, hey, the loss is loss, and the percent is using template literals here. So there's going to be loss percentage. Let's add a percent mark here so that it's more obvious. Let's also write up the profit code, or let's just first run if this is working correctly. So we'll just call the function down, and we'll try to see if the function is running correctly. So there's my function calculate profit and loss. My initial value, I put 10. I got quantity of 10 again, and the current is 100. So no, that's not going to be loss. Yeah, let's keep it. The initial is 100, then the quantity is 10, and the current is 10 also. So let's try to run it and see if it works. So, okay, it did not work. All right.
क्या कर दिए प्रकाश? Then couldn't do a simple program. क्या इज्जत रह जाएगी हमारी.
Yeah, so what-
और फिर logic
okay.
है.
Yeah,
You
so
need help or you want to debug it yourself?
I'm trying to debug it your my
Cool.
oh actually, what a beginner's mistake. I
Yes.
never included the script tag here.
And I'm like, he will figure it out. He will figure it out. And I just want to stress on this. A lot of people during interviews also last year, levelZero interview, level1 interview, did the same mistake. And during the interviews, no, we are trying to help. So we say, hey, maybe you are missing the script tag. Oh, sorry. Because everybody gets nervous. I think
Right.
live coding also has the same vibe where, get nervous, but you figured it out very fast. I was like, kab pakdega, but good, great.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. So as we can see, the loss is being calculated here, and this logic is working perfectly. So now let's write the profit logic. It's going to be the same as the loss one, just some differences here. So the current is greater, so current minus initial, and which is going to be divided by the quantity. And then we get the profit percentage. So we've got this, and profit divided by the initial price that we had into 100 for making it into a percent. And let's console it out. So console.log, and I'll just copy this and change the sorry, I'm lazy a little bit. Yeah, but so this is loss. I'll just change it all to profit. All right, so now the route is also set for the profit one. The branching is done. So as you can see, the if branch is done, the logic part, the loss part, the profit is done. Now we'll do the rest of it. But for now, let's just check if it's working. So keeping 10 and then 10 again and 100 here. If I do, then you can see that now the profit is, it just changed. And just to show you it's working, it is working. So there's profit, there's loss, there's profit, and that's how we work. Moving on to the next part, which is the rest thing. So there are only three things that can happen between two variables. Either one variable might be greater than another, either the second one is greater than the another, or they are equal. So in the else statement, I'll just directly console.log, and I'll directly tell that, hey, the statement that I used before, no pain, no gain, and no gain, no pain. So now let's try to see that too. And we have got 10, 10, and 10 again. And as you can see, all the three things are working perfectly. So this was just for the debugging part, and I can remove them now. So I'll just remove these, and this was my step 2, or I'll call it the exercise 5, which I just did. So this is exercise 5, and that's done here. So we have successfully made the logic part of the program, and that was the big thing inside this whole program. Literally, there's nothing else. You just have to calculate the profit and loss and show it to the user. So now, as you can see, the main parts are created, and now the wiring has to be done. So basically, you have got the HTML part here. You selected all the elements also. There's 1, 2 things, and these two are wired. Then you have got the logic part, the profit and loss. So that's also present. Now what you do need to do is just connect all of them. Connect, and so that all these input that I am taking, I don't have to put them statically, and it will directly be put in the website and your function will run. Awesome. And also we'll do the output part later on. So let's on move to the next thing. So we created the exercise 5, and the next is adding event listener. So let's add an event listener. What do we need to do? Let's say, for example, I enter many things here that, yeah, this is my price, quantity, and then I click on tell me. So how do we register the click that is happening? So we do it by the help of an event listener, and we'll put click on it so that the browser knows, yeah, that, okay, this button is being clicked upon, and we have to run this function. Like I'll specify what the function you have to run, and the browser will say, okay, I'm just running it. Please leave me alone. I am running that. So let's add some event listeners here. So this is exercise 6. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a event listener. So I have to add an event listener or submit button. As I said, the submit button will be clicked. So this is submit btn dot add event listener. And then I put click in there, and I'll define a function here. So let's call the function as a submit handler. That's it. So we have got a function, but it's not working. It won't work right now because we have not defined what is submit handler here. We just said that, okay, you have to run submit handler. If I do tell me, then just wait, let me save it. If I do tell me, then it shows that submit handler is not defined. Ye kya de diya? What is this? We don't know what that is. So we'll say, wait a minute, let me tell you what is submit handler. So I'm going to tell you, yeah. So now the challenge is to create a function submit handler to handle the button click. Okay, let's do that part. So there's a function submit handler, and inside this function, what we got to do is that we got the inputs, right? We selected all the 3 inputs by the name of initial price, then the quantity, and the current price. So we got those, but how to get the value inside of those input? Like those input will have something in them, whatever numbers we are typing in. So it would have something in them, right? So how do we check that? We use input name dot value, whatever the input name, whatever the variable name we are using, and by using dot value we can get whatever is inside them, and we'll store that in a variable. So let's create a variable here, and let's call it IP, the short form of initial price. And what I'm going to do is initial price dot value, and here I get the initial price dot value. Again, I do stocks quantity, so I do SQ, and let's do QTY because quantity QTY is more readable. Doing stocks quantity again and putting value in there, and then last is current price. So keeping it as cur because CP might sound as cost price. So that's also important. Current price and dot value.
CP also might sound like competitive programming. तो आधे बच्चे तो उधर ही भाग जाएंगे.
गलती हो जाएगा नियोजी. They'll say कि नियोजी C पे करवा रहे हैं.
हाँ, इसलिए good that you didn't do it CP.
Right. Okay. So as we have got all these things, now what we need to do? हमारे पास सारा काम आ चुका है. इसके अंदर whatever we have, we got initial price, some numbers, we've got quantity, and we have got current price. We just need to use this function and put the values inside it, pass the values inside it, and let the function handle the rest, whatever the things are happening there. So I'll just do, calculate profit and loss, and take IP as one parameter, the QTY and current, and that's it. So basically now I am running all the function and everything will be console log. So let's try it out once and let's see if I have not made any mistake here. So let's put 10 as initial price, quantities is 10, and the current price is going to be 100. And if I do tell me, then you can see that it's being console log. So the function is working perfectly and it's showing whatever the profit is there and whatever the percent was here. So it's also showing that. So this means that our wiring is complete, and now we can so basically that's the whole of it. But there's one bug that I already know of that will come here. So let's check it for the loss, and let's try it again. So if I do, it's working. How is it working? It was not working before when I tried it. Okay, no issues, it's working. But basically, what you might, I'll just go ahead and tell it. So basically what you might need to do is sometimes the thing that we get from dot value, it returns a string. We need to make sure that it is a number. So we can do a type cohesion here. I'm not sure how it worked here, but it should not have. So let's just put numbers here. so that we are just making sure that, yeah, whatever we are getting, it's changed into number.
You're not sure why it worked there. Think. You
Uh,
know the answer. We have covered this.
we have, I like, it should not have, but let's wait, let's see. So it, like, it might already be doing the type version, but not sure again.
Yep.
It's already
It's
doing it, but
yes.
again, I was pretty sure
The
yesterday. So
JavaScript is a funny language.
yeah,
It understands your intention. It tries to understand, okay, Prakhar कर रहा है, तो शायद ये number ही होगा. Because
right.
why would they do greater than or into? So that's
That
why
makes sense.
magical.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. So still adding it just as a precaution, so we can keep it as a number here, and that's how. Like,
Oh, you
this will work.
entered that. Did you enter the type as number in input? Go to your HTML.
Actually, I did not.
No, it's text.
It's text.
Yeah, this I remember because we discussed this. So I was like, yeah, no, he has not done. But comments, may people like in chat they are saying because he did types in number. Cool. Cool. Go ahead.
I
Go
actually
ahead.
did not do types in number, and yesterday I did when the issue occurred. So I'll have to see that again. But yeah, this is the thing. So this works basically. Now, and basically that was it, right? We have got function. We have got the function. We created the function. I'll just go through the program again so that you get to know what's happening here. So
Let me do that
yeah,
as
sure.
per our the convention. Let me try to understand what you have done. So again, every time we do a vanilla JS program, the idea to think is lay out the map. So first we laid out the entire HTML. If you see, there is head that is not visible. Body, there is a header h1 mark 14 stocks, which is our header. Then there's a main part of the body, which has label and input. And what do we have? We have initial price, we have quantity of stocks, and we have current price as well, right?
Right.
So, and then there is a submit button. So there are 5 things on the screen, all 5 things you laid out. Excuse me. There's also a 6th thing, which is not visible right now, which is the
right.
output box, which also you laid out, which is a very
right.
smart strategy so that you don't have to create elements dynamically. The other way of doing it would be to create all these elements dynamically via JavaScript. Instead of doing that, you did all of it via HTML. Smart.
Right.
Then what you did, you started putting ID to all of this. Why ID? So that we can refer them in JavaScript world, from HTML world to JavaScript world, from HTML world to CSS world. If you want to refer something, you gotta have either ID or type or class, even placeholder, some kind of identifier you need. So to make things easy, you put identifier as ID everywhere, right? Anything I'm missing in HTML?
No.
Cool. So let's go to JavaScript. So when
wait a minute. There was a little bit. Yeah. Okay. So let's moving on to the JavaScript.
So JavaScript also very simple thing. if anybody is facing a small problem, very small subset of this in the interview, this is how you should think. Put the HTML first, get 10 marks right there. Then do the first 6 lines, select whatever was there into the JavaScript word. And how do you do that? You do that using query selector. And because he has given ID everywhere, what Shruti was doing with class and everything, query selector, all and stuff, you don't need that. You just need hash initial price, hash stock quantity, submit button, output box. So what he has done is, out of the 5 things which were on the UI, 4 things, right? Because heading ka to we don't care, but we could change, but we don't care right now. These 4 things, he took it in the JavaScript. Right. And from there, what he did was he added an add event listener, or first basic logic. Like, you need to understand how to calculate profit and loss. This entire function, he can take from here, put it in the console, and it would still work as is. That's very smart way of doing it. Having a functional programming approach so that your logic is out, extracted from everything else. If you do this, you can move this to a separate file also and have a very modular programming base. So he did that profit and loss. Bachpan se we have done this hundreds of times. If you are really bad, then only you should write this formula somewhere like Prakhar and I did, because we are bad at maths.
Right.
and that's okay. Even when you are bad at maths, Prakhar got a really great job. I am doing an absolutely amazing job at Microsoft. Thank you so much. And then you can still excel at programming. No issues with that. So we did that, calculate profit and loss. Now we did the wiring, right? Let's go to the wiring. So for wiring, what we did, add event listener. Whenever there is a click happening, you want to call a submit handler function. And what is submit handler function doing? It's just doing the wiring, right? It's accessing IP, quantity, IP is initial price, quantity, and current, all of the values, and passing it to calculate profit and loss. Calculate profit and loss does not care where these values are coming from. It only cares that if you give me these three values, I will give you profit or loss. And that's all he did. Beautifully done, Prakhar. I'm sure everybody learned a lot. Anything I'm missing here?
One thing that as we have done all the thing, now we move on to the last part. The last part is actually now what you can see that our console log function is running, console log is happening, and everything is consoled here. What we need to do is we have to put everything inside that output box I initially created. That's the simplest part. So let's remove the console.log here and let's comment it out because I'm going to need the statements. And so what I did was I selected it using output box. Let's get this output box here. So I'm doing output box.
Prakhar, can we try something different? We have done this multiple times. Let's make a function show output and pass it as string. First, we do that using console.log, and then just we change the console.log to output box. Some more modular programming here. Let's create a function output, show output, and take a string as an input.
Awesome. So let's create, as we said, a function which is show output.
Yep.
And we are taking a string in here. So I'll just call it str.
Make it message, like put it message.
Awesome.
MSG or message. Yeah, this is also good.
Yeah, message works. And but also we would need to check if because we need to show them what's the loss is. We need to show the keywords like loss is here, the profit is here. So we might need to do the conditional branching here too. In that case, or another thing that I'm able to think of is that we can, when we are calling this function, we can pass something here. Like, yeah, exactly. We can pass a boolean or like maybe not a boolean because we have three things here.
Then a flag.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So yeah, so we can use maybe 0, 1, 2 or something like this. And by using that, we'll just directly check if it is 0, then show output this. It then pass this statement, and that's how we can do it.
So let's say message comma status.
Status.
Or
all right.
Status.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So if I show if the status is, and if are we using numbers or strings? What do you suggest?
Let's do enums. Let status can have only 3 values. So we can also do switch here, and people would learn switch if you want to do that. Yeah.
Okay. So
by the way, this is not scripted. We are just doing it, improvising it right now. So if he goes wrong or I go wrong, please correct us. Pay attention. Let's go, man. I don't know how to write a switch. You want to see where? Acha, it's there. No, you could have done an emmet. No, easier.
Okay.
There was
is there present something like that?
Yeah. Second one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Great. So as it's saying that we need to provide a key. So the key is our status. All right.
Yes.
So we'll put status here.
Yeah.
Status here. And what's the value? So there are going to be 3 values, as I said before. So let's keep the values as profit. Yep. If I am using strings. So first of all, there's going to be profit, and whatever we have inside this, the message, we are going to pass the message right beforehand. So we don't need to write the message again. What we just need to do is we can do output box dot inner HTML, and we can put the message in here. I think that should work. The second case would be if there's a loss. So loss, and the loss will also have the same thing, the output box. then the inner HTML, and inside that we'll put the message again.
Okay.
And so yeah, okay, kind of steps over the point of creating a different three things, because all of these are doing the same thing in the end.
So let's remove status then.
Yeah,
A programmer is not afraid of refactoring its code.
Right.
Yeah.
So if we are not using status, then what should we go ahead with? Like
just do output box.inner HTML equals message. That should be enough. No, why do you need, like, do you need profit and loss?
I don't think so, because if we are passing the message directly from there, then we won't need it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
let's pass the string directly from there.
Okay, then we can do output box dot inner HTML, and here we do message. So this is the thing, and let's replace all of this. So it's good that I did not delete this. Yeah. So I can directly replace all these three with the show output, selecting it with Control D, clicking it.
Just want to stress this on is, you see everyone that, console.log is not magic. It's end of the day, console.log is also a function which takes a string and shows it on console. What we are doing is we are replacing console.log with a function which takes a string and shows it on your program. As simple as that. So it's very important to understand these tiny bits inside when you're getting inside programming, that we are just doing JavaScript, we're just replacing functions and not doing any magic here. Do it, Prakhar. Let's show them.
Yeah. So the snap is going to happen. So this is show output, and basically this is it. So we have changed all the three. We are passing the message inside, and this message, what will happen is that in the output box, the message will be printed. So it will go inside the div. So saving it. Now let's try it once. If I do 10, and then I do 100, and maybe I do 100 again. If I do tell me, then as you can see, it shows that the profit is this much and the percentage is this much. That's how it works. And again, if we are to change it, then again the loss will be shown. And if we make the thing same, then it says no pain, no gain, and no gain, no pain. And that's how this whole program works, right? So that was mostly all of it. I can tell you a little bit about handling the corner cases, but that's like a homework. You guys would have to do it by yourself. All right. So the corner cases are that sometimes the decimal points might exceed to many digits, like it might go with 0.00012, 3, 4, and it might keep going on. So what you need to do is that you have to limit that those digits to just 2 or maybe 1. So for that, you can study about toFixed, which is actually a predefined method inside our JavaScript. And you can also see the MDN doc that I've provided here. So by using toFixed, what it does is that it directly, as they have also shown, so what they are doing is 123.456, and by using toFixed 2, it's going to only 2 digits. So that's how it works. So you can use toFixed, and whatever numbers you want in front of the decimal point, keep that number here in the digits, and that's how it's going to work. One thing that's done. The other thing is that you can restrict the user to enter only numbers by using type and numbers as an attribute, which people were suggesting before. So right now I might add some text here, like I might add something, anything, and then my program will break. It won't know what to do, right? So in this case, you can directly restrict the user, and instead of text here, you can add number, and then the user will only be able to add a number here. So that's also going to work. And the last thing that I was able to think of was the user might put in empty inputs. He might just directly click on tell me, and the program will run, and then again it might break. It won't show an error, but it won't show the desired output. So what you need to do is that check if the user has empty inputs, and if he has, then create an alert and show please fill out all the fields. And so the alert will come in, again telling you guys that using alert is not a good practice, but for here you can maybe use it, and that's how this is going to work.
Yeah, they are removing alert, by the way. So Google Chrome is going to remove alert, and there has been a lot of anger around it because it's very
Okay.
easy to teach
Right.
alert and prompt and stuff, but they're removing it. So that's why I want to stay away. And thankfully, I haven't used alert in any of the levelZero programming till now, but a lot of people do that. So yeah, if you're watching this, don't use alert. Try it out, fine, but down the line, this is going away.
Right. Down the line, you will be able to create models for it, a different kind of model where it pops up in your screen and then you can show things. Right now, I told you because that's like a really later kind of thing. So that's why you can keep alert, or you can just console log that, okay, console.log, people won't be knowing who you are, like the people who are using your program. So maybe another thing what you can do is that inside this output box only, whenever a person clicks tell me, then inside this do the use this function which we just created, the show output, and inside this put a message that you have to enter all the fields, like that is mandatory, and that would work. That's okay, I guess.
Yep, that sounds great.
Yeah. And one last thing that was put in the bonus. So the thing is that can you change the theme of the application according to the profit and loss a person is happening? For example, if the person is person has some loss, so you can show some sad background, maybe some rain in the background, something like that. So can you approach that? Can you do that? Also, if the person is having profit, then you can show some smileys and stuff like that. That's like a bonus thing. If you want to do, you can go ahead and do it. uh, Study a little bit about accessing the css styles inside javascript. So you can use directly output box, which was my the div in which final message was showing, dot style, and whatever the css property you can put in front of it. Like for example, I've put in color here. I can also use background color. So if I, okay, this is not editable, but if I do dot background color, then you can access background color. So that's how this will work, and that's the bonus part. And you can read about it on mdn. So if, like, anytime you feel that you are not able to understand stuff, go to mdn, search for it, like google it, you'll find mdn there, and you can read about all about it. So these are the like styles, element dot style, and yeah, that's all. Like there's dot to fixed, I told you about, and basically that's all about it. Yeah. And I guess our program is completed.
Awesome work, Prakhar. Great work. And people, if you have any questions or you want to do, any problem around this, please ping Prakhar on Discord. He's there
Discord,
on Team
yeah.
Tana, active, very active, and he's willing to help. Now that he has a job and a lot of money, he wants to help.
Right.
He was helping anyway, but abhi thoda tension kam ho gaya, right? Like
Right.
no more interviews to give. And with that, once again, thank you everyone. First 145, 150 people watching live for 1 hour, seeing other people code is not an easy thing. You all did it. Thank you so much. Thank you, Prakhar, for being an amazing student first and then being an amazing teacher as well. You did a great job.
That was the plan.
Talia. You did really well, seriously. And anyone else who's watching this video for the first time, if you have not subscribed, why not? Please subscribe. And if you have not liked the video till now, why not like the video? And we have come towards the end of this program, but I have a surprise release, surprise reveal for everyone, like Marvel. There is an after credit scene, so I'm going to share my screen. Right. And be ready, guys. There is going to be something awesome coming up. So a lot of people have been asking me about, can you see my screen, Prakhar?
Yes, it's visible.
Awesome. So a lot of people have been asking me about kab hoga Neo G level1 admission, kab khulega. And then this was pointed out to us that we started levelZero on 14th of November. We started level1 on 14th of February. So why not start admissions of level1 again on 14th of August? I am not going to announce this anywhere on social media or on Discord. Only people who have watched this
Watch the
live.
live. Great.
Watch the live. This is for you. I am telling you, you can go ahead and submit your portfolios from today. And as you know, this is first come, first serve. We have showed you how to do all the exercises. I'm going to do a video on how to write blogs, but I think you can write your own blogs and submit. And to submit, you need to go to this URL. Chan, 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 chan.
Get
Dramatic
ready,
music.
guys.
Get ready. Here it is. Ta 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 ta. So you need to go to admissions.neog.camp, sign up, and you can submit your portfolio tonight. And again, this is first come, first serve. I am not going to announce this anywhere for tonight. I'm going to announce it tomorrow. You have the whole night to get started. And if you are getting any problem, put it on the Discord channel saying, hey, get help. I'm not able to do this, not able to do that. Once again, this is an immense effort. This is an immense effort from your NeoG seniors, right? These kids might not be your senior, but from the NeoG 21 batch, they had a very rough time doing all of this, via Excel and Discord bots and whatnot. So they made this for you. I have not made this. These are your seniors who have made this for you. And they have worked day overnight. And let me tell you what kind of seniors these are. These people like Prakhar and Ishan and Shruti and Kanish, everyone was having interviews. And I don't blame them. When they have completed their college, they wanted to go and do their interviews, right? But there were kids who are in first year or second year or third year, they don't have interviews. They said, what should we do? What can we do to make neogcamp a bigger success than 2021? And they are these kids who made this entire portfolio, entire SaaS for you. And see how beautiful this is done. So thank you for the entire team who has done this work. Everyone, I'm not gonna take names, but everyone who has worked on this, this is your hard work, right? And this is the surprise reveal. Bhaiya, aaj se karo submit. Don't ask me from tomorrow where. This
Guys,
is the place.
submit it right now. If you have prepared, submit it before the news spreads, and then there's going to be a lot of people. So you have the chance here. Come on.
If you submit first, you get to get the interview first. You get to get your seats logged in first. There is no harm in submitting first. So go ahead, submit it. Make sure that you read all the instructions clearly. I want to say this again and again. If you forget to read, if you ignore, then when you have to resubmit, it will go at the end. So instead of going at the end, you don't want to miss that. Please read all the instructions. Do sign up. When you go inside, they have done a beautiful job of explaining every point. Every minute detail has been mentioned. You need to read and submit your portfolio. And with that, we are done with today's live. Thank you very much for joining, everyone. Bye-bye. Please like the video, comment, subscribe, share, do all of